about the negotiations process. How can you prepare and negotiate and successfully close your negotiation with Amazon? So first, I want to cover a framework called F.I.R.M, F-I-R-M. And using this framework will help you have the most success possible in negotiating with Amazon. And this framework has been developed by working with hundreds, if not thousands, of consumer brands and seeing success measures, seeing a lot of different missteps, and also being on the other side of the negotiations table from Amazon and negotiating on behalf of Amazon. The framework is called F.I.R.M. We'll start with F. F stands for Find Your Data, and this is really just about getting prepared to negotiate, making sure that you have your KPIs in front of you, including your current terms, your sales and sales growth, maybe any digital shelf metrics that you have access to, or any competitive benchmarking metrics that you have access to. You want to have everything in front of you and have studied it a bit so that there aren't any surprises from Amazon in the negotiation. I was consistently surprised sitting on the Amazon side of the negotiations table to see how many brands would come to the table not even knowing their current terms. Often when Amazon sends an email with the first ask for the year, they'll only include 3 or 4 of the terms, but you might have 5 or 6 total terms with them. So you want to have everything in one place and be just really ready with all of your data before you get on the phone or negotiate live with them. I stands for isolating or identifying your point of leverage. So this is thinking about what is it that I am bringing to Amazon that's valuable to them. And every brand is bringing something that's valuable. So perhaps you are driving more growth for the category than your peers. Or maybe your products drive a lot of high frequency shopping behavior. Perhaps your products have a lot of brand awareness and maybe there are a lot of searches for your brand and a lot of customer loyalty. Maybe your products are a little bit more profitable than other brands in the category. Whatever it is, finding that point of leverage is really important. And you can do that by asking a lot of questions, and we'll kind of cover that in number 4, which is mining for information. So F is find your data, I is isolating your point of leverage, and R is relax and go slow. So there's no need to rush. We don't have to close right away. The language from Amazon will get stronger and more forceful when they are approaching a time where we need to close the negotiation or there will be repercussions. But until that language gets stronger, you can definitely go at your own pace. Make sure that you're comfortable with the different interests that are on the table, making sure that you're bringing in additional interests. So making sure that if there's something you want out of this negotiation, that you're asking for that as well. So relax and go slow. Don't be pressured to close. And then last is M, mine for information and make asks of your own. So this is the chance that many brands have really only once a year to talk to their vendor manager and to spend some time communicating with them. So ask as many questions as you can think of. Going back to isolating your point of leverage, ask questions about the category, ask questions about your peers, ask what does your boss wish you did differently on my business? What am I missing? What do you think my biggest growth opportunities are? This is an opportunity to learn more about your brand and how it sits within the category. So mining for information is important and making asks of your own. In true interest-based negotiation, we're bringing more and more interests to the table in the hopes that we can find common ground across a broader set of initiatives. So that's a negotiations principle that tends to work really well with Amazon. So if they come to you and they want to talk about 3 main terms, you may have some other things that you need. So if they come to you and they say, we want to talk about MDF, damage, and freight this year, you can say, well, I'd also like to talk about chargebacks, and I'd like to talk about shortages, and I'd like to talk about my Amazon advertising spend for this year. And the more interest you can bring into the negotiation, the higher degree of likelihood that you'll close a mutually successful negotiation. So mine for information and make asks of your own. And when we're thinking about mining for information and making asks of our own, there are a number of questions we can ask in order to ascertain where we sit in the category. How big is my business relative to the category? Who are my peers? What are my peers doing better than me? What does my freight actually cost to Amazon? How do I stack rank against your other vendors? Do I have crap items? Do I have more crap than other vendors in the category? Do I have less crap? Who are the largest brands in my category? The Amazon team may not answer a lot of these questions, but they may give you relative measures, and those can still be useful in helping you identify your point of leverage and really figure out how you're going to position yourself in this negotiation. Now, the negotiations process looks really different for, a large and a small vendor. A large vendor might have a joint business plan. They might be working in it with the divisional manager or the category leader, and they'll have a lot of data in front of them. Amazon will have a lot of data in front of them. There's probably going to be a specific goal for that brand from Amazon's perspective in terms of the negotiations goal for the year. And it might be a longer term process, and there'll be a lot of interactivity. On the other hand, a really small brand might only have one point of communication. It could be just an email exchange. There's going to be very limited data and opportunity to ask questions. They may be working with that vendor negotiations professional negotiating team or with the ICE machine through automated vendor negotiations. And the process is going to be brief, and there's going to be a lot of pressure to close quickly.